Do you want me to look here?
Nice to meet you, Grace.
Well, very nice to be here.
I actually attended your lecture yesterday, and I heard a lot of great merit, and it's very constructive, and
Thank you.
I found a lot of similarity between the Western astrology and Chinese astrology.
I'm glad to hear that.
And also, yes, I also did some prediction of financial market, but not much. Yeah,
That's okay. Yeah, that's what I love.
Actually,
a subject I love.
We would like our audience to know more about you and about your specialty and something specialty in financial astrology.
Well, I would be glad to share not only information about the patterns and the cycles that we're in,
Yeah.
but if you're interested in how I got into financial astrology, years ago, having professional clients, doctors, lawyers who wanted to know where to invest their money, up to that point, I was really into psychological astrology, like Dr. Carl Jung, this was psychiatrist, who before seeing a patient for psychotherapy would set up their birth chart. And so I find it invaluable when I work with the heads of presidents of companies, CEOs, traders. We have a lot of traders here in Chicago, the Chicago Board of Trade.
Exactly.
So I decided to add that, and it's a great combination, having a background in psychotherapy, so that when the CEO of a company is stressed, we can talk about stress management as well as how to, when's best to incorporate or put a IPO out, the best time to have a first trade offering. And it makes all the difference in the world, what the correct chart and the time for beginning something. Yes. In 1994, I did a financial work conference in Singapore. And at that time, well, that was mostly bankers. Probably around 80 bankers who had trading departments at their banks. And I, at that time, set up several incorporations for Chinese businesses, and many of them are still doing extremely well. Well, all of them I set up are. So, and this is something I combine, picking the favorable times to begin introduction of products or whatever. But I also find it invaluable to have a master's degree in psychotherapy to really help if a trader or are having stress to work on that. Does that kind of answer that question?
Yeah, exactly. And yesterday I mentioned your lecture or talked about the financial market, stock market, and real estate market. And you talk just like the three planets, just like Sun and Jupiter and Pluto.
I was giving the magic formula for monster stocks, the stocks that do extraordinary. And the example I used was Priceline, which I put in my stock market newsletter at about $13. And it is now over $2,200 a share. And that the formula is in that chart, as well as other companies that do their stock does extremely well. And the magic formula is the Sun, Pluto, and Jupiter in configuration, in price lines. They've now been they're actually known as Bookings Holdings, but that is Priceline, which is a travel stock. And so I don't forget, I have at least 23 Chinese stocks in my portfolio list. And Baidu has done the best, over 1,600%. But in Priceline, there's a Sun-Jupiter conjunction trine Pluto. It is very obvious that this is going to be a winner, and it should continue to be a winner. Can I mention what the stock market is doing right now as we speak?
Absolutely.
It is down 400 points.
Yeah.
This is the Dow. And the other measures, S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are also down.
Yeah.
So we're actually 90 days from the last eclipse. So that's usually a down day in the markets. We're going to move towards a high point probably around July 3rd, and we may have some pullback. But it is important to remember that pullbacks are buying opportunities. And so have your watch list ready, as I would tell clients and also people listening to the lectures, that it's important to choose the best stock in the favored sector. And we pick the favored sectors by the Jupiter position.
Okay.
At this point, this year, Jupiter is in Scorpio.
Yes.
So many of the sectors relating to Scorpio things, and including energy and to some extent pharmaceuticals, and even house building, or at least the products that build houses. And we are going to be going into a year cycle in the Jupiter in Sagittarius. So we're moving towards education, sports, gaming.
Yeah.
We're already like NVDA. The gaming stocks are important, and TAL is a good educational.
Yeah.
So you look at the best stocks in the favored sectors.
Okay. And there are so many categories for investment in China, and the people like investment their money to real estate market. So yesterday I heard you mentioned the North Node when step into the Cancer and the North Node to the Capricorn.
That's
it's a
right.
big cycle.
That's right.
So can you give our audience some tips for the real estate market investment?
Well, if we go back to 2008, 2009, which was the last great recession, we were at the bottom of the housing market. And the collapse in September of 2008, Lehman Brothers, the banks and so forth, and down went the whole global economy at the same time. And I call the exact bottom of the stock market for March 9th, 2009. And I try to buy based on the cycles I do. And that's when many stocks, and known in China as well as the Chinese stocks, were like $1, $1 US, and it was the time to buy. And the bottom of the housing market was August of 2009. And these are 11-year cycles based on the nodes. So we are coming to a top. In other words, if you bought anywhere, even now, although November of this year begins to plateau in the economic cycles. But definitely, anytime someone has bought, you can make a profit in housing. Now, you have to separate the difference between I want to buy a place to live in and I don't care, not necessarily what it costs, but making a profit. I'm going to stay there the rest of my life, some people will say. But if you're looking to make a profit, you want to get ready to sell by probably 2022.
Okay. Thank you so much for your advice. Thank you.